For the online students, there is an activities that I would like you to play with. For those on campus, we played a slightly different game because there are many of them together. So in this game, I would like you to take either a foolscap or an A4 or a letter size paper, fold it 2 times, like this, and produce 4 smaller version of that paper, like so. Now take one of them, fold it into 3 parts, and along each fold, tear it almost to the end on both of the seams. Okay, your task is to, by holding onto 2 corners and in one action, to be able to turn this into 3 pieces of paper. So when I do this, I have 2 pieces of paper. You should be able to pull both corners and produce 3 pieces like that. So in the next 5-10 minutes, we'll let you try this exercise. Now, if it doesn't work, you got 3 more pieces. You can keep trying. Okay, and I'll come back to you in 5-10 minutes. Try this. When I gave you this task of turning this 1 piece of paper into 3 pieces with pulling these 2 corners of the paper, in a lot of cases, that's all you think about, pulling both of these corners, and you are constantly producing only 2 pieces. Even though you could come as close to the edge as you want, you always produce 2 pieces. And the solution of making 3 pieces is as follows. Why am I showing you this is that you have made the assumption that you could not do anything else, and that's a mental block. That mental blocks prevent you from coming up with that solution. A way around it is to ask questions first. That early part of questioning would allow you to have the information that you are not limited to just 2 fingers. You could use something else. Okay, when you were doing the exercise earlier, when you guys were doing the exercise earlier, what do you think prevented you from thinking of the answer? Huh? The resource, because you still have that piece of paper. Is that right? What locks you into that piece of paper? Huh? Because I said that, because I show you that. You see, this is a bit of a trick, right? When I program you by saying that this is the way that I'm off the ground. So you thought, okay, that's the solution. The moment you see something, you say, oh, that's the solution. You stop thinking. You stop thinking of other solution. You stop asking question. You stop asking about what's the constraint on you. Make sense? That piece of paper locks you in. You're constantly thinking of a solution around that piece of paper. Many years ago, when I was facilitating a team in the Philippines, a factory in the Philippines, at the end, when they realized that the piece of paper has got no use for them, each one of them was still holding onto a very small piece of paper. They said, look, the solution is to jump. The paper is of no use to us. And when I took a picture of them jumping, they were still holding onto that piece of paper. All of them were still holding onto the piece of paper. The thing is this, in a lot of our thinking, you are constrained artificially by something. Okay? In a lot of cases, you are holding onto a piece of paper somewhere. So when you're trying to think of a solution later on, stop every now and then and say, where's that piece of paper? Are we okay? 1. 2, do you notice that you are forced to think of the alternative solution when your resource ran out? Yeah? So let me share a real story with you. I used to work with NEC in Melbourne. And if you buy an NEC mobile phone outside Japan, chances is that the chipset for the 3G mobile came from us. The design came from us in Melbourne, Australia. For the design of the entire chip, the simulation has to be done using something like 4 or 5 CPUs on it. Our counterpart in the US has got a room like a few hundred CPUs. For them, resource is not an issue. Just chuck it into one of the CPU. For us, we have to think about the sequence upon which we do things, and we have to be very resourceful with the 5 CPUs that we have. Whereas the American will be like, it's okay, there are 200 CPUs, just chuck it in there and you're finished in no time. But we have to be resourceful. Hence, when sometimes you are limited in resources, it's actually a good thing. It forces you to be resourceful. Okay? So when resource kind of like is limited, don't complain. Be thankful. It actually will force you to think of a good solution. Are we okay? So the exercise of this paper exercise is twofold. 1, there is an artificial block that we all put to ourselves. We are holding onto a piece of paper. That piece of paper constrains you from going too far. It's like a dog tied to a leash. It's only within a certain distance from that leash. Will not go beyond that leash. Okay? Do you guys know that elephant, the thing that's tied on their feet is actually very weak. They could just do that and it comes off. But they don't do that. Do you know why? Do you know why? When they were very young, they're tied to something very strong. So they try very hard. It won't come off. So after that, they realize there's no point struggling. It won't come off. Then after that, even though it is tied to something very weak as a grown elephant, they won't pull it. To them, it's like, it won't come off. No point trying. The same with that resource. The moment you start thinking, there's a solution here, you are confined within whatever you're thinking. Okay? So yesterday when I told you guys that you have a boyfriend, you got a girlfriend, you got one solution, go and explore some other solution, right? It's the same with this. The moment you have a solution, it's a safety net. Go and explore something else. That something else allows you to have other more creative ideas, right? So, and when resources runs down, be thankful. Think about how can I be resourceful. Are we okay? Question? No. Okay. Part 2. Where do you think is the source of creativity and innovation in all of us? Let me rephrase the question. If a mother have to express milk for her baby, there's one place she needs to do. That's where the milk comes in. Right? There's only one place. You go to a cow, you want to milk. You cannot milk the horn. There is nothing coming out from there. You have to milk the teat, right? So for us as human beings, where is the source of our creativity and innovation? Brain. Now, if it is the brain, do you massage it and become more creative? If it is my nose, I'm going to do that. If it's my forehead, I'm going to do that. If it's my tummy, I'm going to do that. Where is it? The reason why I say that is that if you know where is the source of creativity and innovation within you, nurture it, massage it. Where do you think is your source of innovation? Your brain. Say more. How do I nurture it, massage it, promote it, make it more creative? Huh? From your eyes. Uh-huh. Fine. Are you saying that a blind man is not creative? No, no, no. Listen. Please don't be offended. In the world of creativity, can you please answer, I love you? In the world of creativity and innovation, when we say something, we are not attacking the person, we are talking about the concept, right? You understand it? So if you come up with an idea, when someone says something about it, it's never about you as a person, it is always about the concept. It's about our understanding, it's about our beliefs, right? Okay, so when I say that, I'm not attacking you, don't take that. So when you say it's the I, then it would then mean that a blind person cannot be creative, right? So where do you think it is? Say more.
Experience.
Say more. So how if you say it's a brain, it is an experience, how do you make yourself more creative? What must you do? You see, go ahead. Learn. So it's all about getting information into your head. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay. Remind me afterwards to talk about the box. Anyone else? Huh? Imagination. Say more. What do you mean? Okay, so you are saying that if a person can draw pictures in their head, like having a cartoon in his head, he becomes creative. He becomes innovative. Is that right? Is that what you're saying? Not quite. Okay. Think a little bit more and explain to us again. Anyone else? Again, we're not stopping this until you get the answer. And I'm very conscious of the time we have. Discover more things. It's a bit like him, right? Where you say you get more information and you discover more things. Now, if you say that that's the case, right? If you say that it's about discovery that makes you more creative and innovative, show me a steps that I can do that would make me, that I become world famous in terms of creativity and innovation. You see, if I want to be a strong guy, I take a dumbbell, 5 kilo, I keep doing. I become stronger, 7 kilo, I keep doing. I can show you a step upon which that after a while you get that big muscle, right? Yeah? Sorry? So technique, knowledge, and method. So with technique, knowledge, and method, you become creative? No. So then that's not the source of creativity and innovation, right? So where within us is that source of creativity and innovation? Desire. Say more. Explain yourself.
You want something. Maybe you want it more easy, or you want it more special. Then you think of something that may not be around. Then you
Okay.
think of something great.
Anyone agree, disagree with him? Huh? You agree. So you agree that desire is the source of innovation or creativity. Anyone disagree? Think about the last time where you eagerly come up with a solution. Huh? That P, the challenge, force you to do something. Huh? Desperate. Desperate means what? Uh-huh. Say it in another way. Say it in another way. In actual fact, the answer has been given. I just want all of you to realize that that is the answer. The answer has been mentioned. Huh? Pressure. So if there's no pressure, it's like, it's okay. Let's not do it, is it? You see, back in Edison's time, there is a need for lighting, right? But what makes Edison explore? Huh? Attitude. His attitude? What about his attitude? Okay, what about the way he sees the thing? Okay, so he's curious. Okay, he's curious.
Importance.
Say more?
Importance of light, yeah.
Okay, so everyone knows it's important, but only Edison try and find a solution for it. Huh?
He couldn't. He wanted the light for.
He wanted the light. Say it in another way.
Because of his mother, right?
It is always because of the mother. No. So you see, a lot of you have given the answer, but you have to say it in the right way. And the right word has been mentioned. I just want you guys all to realize that is the answer. So you're sticking to the same word. You think desire is a solution, and you feel that desire is the source of creativity and innovation. Is that right? It looks like you're sticking to it. Anyone agree, disagree? You know, desire is a very interesting word. If you have got no desire for food, you won't. If you're not hungry, you have got no desire for food, right? And I can use desire in an adult sense also. And if you have got no desire for whatever, you won't do it. Agree? And if you have desire, there's nothing that can stop you. With desire, even you would commit crime to get there. With desire, you could even literally commit serious crime to get there. Make sense? It is only with desire that drives you to go and look for a solution, right? Just now, that piece of paper, you have got no desire to solve the solution. Agree? But if you have a desire to do something, there's nothing stopping you. Would you agree? That some of us would even commit a crime because of desire. So if you can nurture your desire for a solution to whatever you're looking for, you'll find a solution. You become creative. Are we okay? Do you guys feel it? Good. I lost my notes. Okay, never mind. Okay, if you recall, yesterday we talked about the 4 steps of design thinking, right? Understand, observe, ideate, prototype. Now, earlier when you were playing the paper game, I keep asking, what questions do you have? Correct? Because if you don't understand the challenge, there is no way you can find the solution. Are we agreeable? Okay, if I give you an assignment, or you are looking to work on a certain project, you have to know what you are dealing with. Agree? So in the very first step of design thinking is understand. So let me start with a very simple assignment for you. If I give you an assignment to collect a letter, Tower 2, Level 35, Conference Room 3515, what goes through your head? What questions do you have, I mean? Huh? Where is Tower 2? Petronas Twin Tower number 2. Huh? What time is it? Okay, so office hours. What kind of letter? How many letters? By when? Who to collect from? What else? Huh? So the thing is that I give you something ambiguous, you have to ask those necessary questions, right? Otherwise, you have got no idea how to fix it. Agree? So now that you're a bit smarter, let me change it. Collect a parcel, Menara De Welts, level 2, lot 2.6. You were asking who? I'm telling you. Ask for Daniel. By the way, if you go to Menara De Welts and level 2, there is a shop at 2.6, and there is a Daniel inside. I'm serious. It's a partner of a friend of mine. They sell pens. What else do you want to know? Huh? Daniel is a guy. How big is a parcel? So it could be like, I need to have a truck to go and collect it, or a car would do, or maybe even a motorbike would do. It could be a small, tiny little thing, right? That curiosity portion is important, because otherwise you could go there with a motorbike, then it's a huge thing, right? What else? What else do you want to know? You have what?
A secret code.
Do I have a secret code? No, there's no secret. Just ask for Daniel. What else would you want to know? When? Huh? Is Daniel informed? Okay, Daniel is informed. What else would you want to know? For you to be able to perform that task properly, what else would you want to know? Huh? What's the reward? Brilliant. Generation what? It's all about the money. Next module is all about the money. So there's no reward. It's just it's just a task that you need to do. What else would you want to know? Huh? The contact. He sells pens, so it's just a bunch of pens. If you guys ever go to that place, visit that shop. It's a brilliant place. What else would you want to know? Huh? The shop's name is Pen Gallery. All kind of exotic pens in there. Don't you guys want the phone number so that you can call and say, hey Daniel, I'm coming. When are you available? Can you tell me the size of the box? Can you tell me what I need to do to make sure that I don't miss it? Things like that, right? Okay, next simple one. I want you to deliver a gift to Ellison Russell, and that's the address. Huh? What's that? By the way, these are all real people that I have worked with before or I know, and these are all real address. I think that's my father-in-law's bakery. What would you want to know?
Allison's number.
Alice's number. Okay, Allison's number. What else? What's the gift for? Is there a constraint that I need to go there by a certain time or things like that? Can Allison know about it, or is it a surprise? Things like that, right? So you should have lots of questions like that. Next one. I want you to deliver a car. Brett Hoskin. This is my father-in-law's bakery in Batu Pahat. What would you do? What questions do you have? So the car is next to me. It's all filled up, and here's the key. Go for it. And that's the instruction given to you. Time?
Yeah, what time should I come?
When you're free.
After I give the car, then how can I?
Brilliant. So he has got a question. What's your name? Winston. So Winston has got, his comment is that because this is Batu Pahat down south, right? 300 kilometers from here. After I deliver it, how do I come back? If you're concerned about money, it's like, who's going to pay for the toll? Who's going to pay for the petrol, right? You should have this kind of question to make sure that your own interest is taken care of, that you can do the assignment properly without messing up. So I want to share an interesting story with you. Many years ago, I was working in Shah Alam, and one of the sister companies said, can you go to Sweden and have a meeting for us? I'm a technical guy, so I thought, okay, you want me to have a technical meeting, help you guys on the technical side. So I say, yeah, you're paying for the ticket, I'm going anyway. So they arranged the ticket in such a way that I fly to Frankfurt Airport, 6 hours there. Like today, the ringgit cannot buy much anyway, so one pack of sandwich would literally put a hole in your pocket. So you have one sandwich, 6 hours, you sleep in the airport. Fly to Motala. It was dark, and we've got no idea where to go, so I have got a certain address, which is an office address. Taxi driver took me there. The office is closed, it's late at night. Luckily, I bumped into someone that says, oh, we're expecting you. Okay, he took me to the hotel, late at night. Woke up in the morning, he was there. He says, let's go. Okay, let's go. So he drove me to another place, Nokia Autolift. This is a joint venture between Nokia and Autolift. Autolift makes airbags and seatbelt. The electronics goes into this liquid thing, very viscous, comes out, it dries, and it goes someplace else. Okay. So when I came back at the office, they asked me, can we do it? I was like, do what? They flew me all the way there to Nokia Autolift factory to see if we Malaysian are capable of maintaining that machine. Meaning they are thinking of transferring the entire manufacturing of the electronics part for airbags to Malaysia. So the Swedish guys are saying, look, this is very high tech, you guys cannot do it. So all it has is a piece of electronics with some components on it. Dip through this liquid stuff, comes out, let it dry. And it coats the entire electronics so that it becomes water resistant. They say you cannot because if you don't get the speed right, you're going to get bubble. The bubble is going to be something that results in a hole, and the whole electronics is no longer waterproof. And I think it's maybe some truth to it, maybe not so true, right? But the whole thing for me was that I went through many hours of flight, hungry in Frankfurt Airport, slept on the I do not know where, I've forgotten now, and went there, meeting. At the end of the meeting, at the end of the 5-hour meeting, I was put in a vehicle, I cannot remember what vehicle it is, to the airport, flew back. The question they asked me was, can we do it? Nobody tell me what I need to do, and I was stupid enough not to ask. So I came back not having the answer. Right? You do not want to work on a project, work on an assignment where you went all the way through 14 weeks and said, gee, we missed it. Make sense? Hence, the moment a project is given to you, or the moment you want to work on a project, you want to get all the information right. Okay? So you have to ask all these kind of questions. Now, let me put it to you in another way. You guys know who is a sniper? You know a sniper? Yeah? You guys play games, you should know, right? What's so funny? Now, so who play games with sniper? Oh, you? Okay. No. Okay, so you tell me, those of you who know who a sniper is, what would a sniper do? They'll go through camouflage and find a way as close as they can to the target, right? There's always this one target, correct or not? Yeah, so the shot can be very, very far. They don't have to be like point blank and shoot the guy. They can be hiding quite a fair distance away, right? But they still have to get close enough for the shot, right? What would they do once they have acquired the target? Oh, that's the guy that I need to...
Headshot.
Huh?
Headshot.
Headshot. Before the headshot? Huh? The sniper, when they acquire the target, always take time to prepare the shot. Because the moment he pulls the trigger, his position is known. A lot of the high-tech soldier today, they wear the helmet. It has got a couple of sensors, four sensors, I think. If the shock wave come through, it'll tell you where the shock wave come from. So you hear a shot goes off, right? You've got no idea where it's coming from because it's echoing all over the place. But the shock wave that the sensor picked up, it'll tell you where the shot come from. So the moment you fire the shot, your position is disclosed. It's not, right? So you have to be very careful that in that one shot after you take it, you got no second shot, most likely. You're off. The moment the shot ran off, everyone is going to be like hiding or things like that, right? You're not going to get that shot anymore. So the sniper always takes his time or her time to prepare the shot. Why? He wants a one shot, one kill. Agree? He always would want to have that one shot, one kill, packed up, go home. Make sense? Why am I telling you a sniper story? It's the same in design. When I design something, I want a one shot, one kill. I want to make sure that the solution I come up with is a one shot, one kill. That one solution that I put out fix up everything. Is it okay? So hence the importance of this first stage, understand stage. This part is very similar to the sniper acquiring his shot, taking time to prepare his shot. This is the time where I get all the information that I need in such a way that the solution that I come up with has got very minimal change, if any, because I want that one shot, one kill. I literally, in my design, I want one shot, one kill. One solution goes out there, it has to work. Are we clear? Now that you know the kind of thinking that I'm referring to, let's try this. Try this game. A race against time. I want you to go. So now you are at Terminal 1 JFK International Airport. You know where that is? This is in New York. Okay? You're standing at Terminal 1 JFK International Airport. Your task, I want you to go to Paris. I want you to go to Melbourne. And then come back. Okay? Your reward is $1 million, not ringgit is worth nothing now. $1 million US dollar minus the time you travel in hour. So let's say if it takes you 1 million hour to go from JFK International Terminal 1 to Paris to Melbourne and then back, you got nothing. Okay? I give you credit card, spend as used to buy your air ticket or schedule whatever you need to do, and based on your time. What would you do? You have to show me evidence that you were at Paris. You have to show me evidence that you were in Melbourne. So if you go no Photoshop, and no Photoshop and a passport stamp is not good enough. I actually want to see some kind of monument or something like that with you and a selfie, you know. What would you do? Hey, this is not a trick question. Come on. What would you do? Huh? Buy a ticket? So, how would you plan? I give you a credit card. Run away. You go and buy some gold.
Paris, buy some gold. Then never mind, don't give me a reward. I can still get the money for the gold.
You guys are different. I've never had answer like that before. I think I'm going to have a good time with you guys. I'm going to change the rule. I say you're going to do anything that is not related to. Okay, there's a limit in your credit card. You can only have a few thousand ringgit or dollars for you to buy your air ticket, or it can only be used to buy air ticket or hotel stay. What can you do? What would you do? You say you're going to buy tickets, right? How would you plan?
The ticket will have the Paris, right?
No, you have to be there. Like I said, you have to show evidence that you were there. No Photoshop. You have to take a selfie of you in Paris. And when you land in Paris, what picture would you take? Eiffel Tower. So, chances is that you're going to say, so you're going to plan the route to Paris, the route to Melbourne, and then back, right? You buy the ticket the quickest possible. Give yourself enough time to go to the Eiffel Tower. Give yourself enough time to go to somewhere in Melbourne, whatever the place that you are thinking of. Maybe the casino, maybe some kangaroo. Huh? Sure, you can take the airport. So then tell me, what shot would you take in Paris? Charles de Gaulle, maybe. The airport, okay. What's the name of the airport? So maybe you go to the place that says Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport and you take a selfie, maybe, right? Huh? Then you go to Melbourne and Melbourne Tullamarine Airport and you take a selfie of yourself, maybe. Would that be? Yeah. Okay. So oops. Oh, one slide went missing. If I were to tell you, that there's a Paris and a Melbourne city in the US itself, you go and fly to Paris, France, Melbourne, Australia. I fly to Paris. I think this is in Florida. This is somewhere on the somewhere in the middle of the East Coast. I just fly within the US, right? I'm going to win. Make sense? So what does this tell you? You ask question to seek clarity, right? You want to make sure that it is. You see, why I am saying this is that when you do work, in a lot of cases, we assume, but you actually have to make sure that your assumption is correct. Are we okay? Okay, good. Sometimes when you're working on a certain project, it is because something is broken. Okay? That something is broken. If something is broken, you have to find the root cause. And if that root cause is found, fix that root cause, and you'll be fine. Are we okay? Are we okay? You guys are quiet because you're enjoying yourself, or you are tired, or all of the above. Oh man. Okay. So let me quickly finish this. A bit out of time. Finding the root cause. Say for instance, you are working on a project and you are trying to fix something that is broken. What you need to do is to find the root cause. Let me give you an example. Your mom asks you to boil an egg. You go to the kitchen, you try and spark the fire, and there's no fire. No fire. What would you do? This is a simple question. Don't tell me you do not know how to cook an egg. What would you do? You try and then what? Oh, so assuming that it can spark itself, then what would you do? Use the flame. But there's no flame. When you spark it, there is no flame. So what would you do? You check if there's gas. Okay? If there is no gas, what would you do? Huh? Microwave it. What would you do? Buy one more gas. Now, when you say, sometimes I also do this. It's like, no gas. The first assumption is that the tank is empty. Correct or not? But sometimes it could be that because I was going out for a couple of days, I actually switched off the mains, right? And I've forgotten to turn it back on. So maybe I need to check that first. Correct or not? So what I'm trying to say here is that you cannot just jump to an assumption, let's call the gas man, and he came and say, hey, it's still full or it's still half full, then it's a bit of a waste. You have to check that what is the actual cost. Okay? So one of the techniques that you can use is called 5 whys. 5 whys was developed by a person called Sakiichi Toyoda. This is the founder of Toyota. Okay? The technique goes like this. The technique says, ask 5 why, or ask why 5 times. Please do not take it literally that you have to ask exactly 5 times. What it actually meant is that keep asking why until you find the root cause. Are we okay? So let's just say this. I flick the switch and I expect the light to come on, but the light didn't come on. You ask why. Then you say, possibly because there's no electricity, or because the switch is busted, or it could be the bulb is busted, or the fuse is blown, or it could be many possibilities, right? So each one of those, go and validate which one of those are valid. So is the switch broken? You check, switch is good. Is the fuse busted? Fuse is good. Is there electricity? Take a multimeter and check it, or you check it. The one that says, fuse is blown. So most of us, let's replace the fuse. You can ask the question again, why is the fuse blown? Because if you don't fix the root cause, it can happen one more time. So the fuse is blown because there was a spike. Why was there a spike? So you keep going until you stop when it reached the law of physics. You cannot go back anymore, right? You understand? You keep going back And each time you validate that that is true. If it is not true, throw it away. Then those that remains true, you keep going back until you find the root cause. You fix that root cause, you fix the entire thing. Very similar to the one shot, one kill. You fix the root cause, everything else along the way disappear. Are we clear? Question? Okay. Next one, Ishikawa diagram. Sometimes also called the fishbone diagram, sometimes called the herringbone diagram, sometimes called the cause and effect diagram or cause and effect chain analysis, or the Ishikawa diagram. Your seniors like this name, Ishikawa. So in all their portfolio, everyone talk about the Ishikawa diagram. Now the Ishikawa diagram and the 5 whys are exactly the same, except this. You start off with an effect. Fuse is blown, gas not, the burner is not working, or whatever the case is, right? Then you go backwards. So the 5 whys says you keep asking why, then you keep going back, right? But Ishikawa diagram helps you in the sense that there are certain major category that you can help guide you. So let me give you an example. The first 4 was the original one. Some other people added the subsequent 4. Just look at the first four. Man, machine, method, material. So if something in a factory is broken or not working, say what is not working, what's the issue, what is the effect. So one is man, machine, material, method. So everything related to man, human being. The causes that is caused by man, you write it down here, all the causes. Those related to machine, write it in that category. So the category of man, machine, method, material just help guides you in your thinking. That's it. Okay? Now if you like, you can say measurement, mother nature, management, it's up to you. Whatever kind of category that's relevant. So this is mainly used in manufacturing. This is mainly used in the service industry. The first 4 P's are the first 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, promotion. And then subsequently people added things like people, process, physical, evidence, and productivity. Are we clear with this? So there is no difference between this and the 5 whys. Just that Ishikawa diagram has got categories to help guide you in your thinking process. Okay? Again, 5 whys does not mean that you have to ask for why exactly 5 times. You can stop after 3 if you find it. You can stop after 6 if you found it. Are we okay? Focus group. You guys know what is a focus group? You know what is a focus group? You can say, I don't know, tell me. If you can say, we are expert in it, that's also fine. No? Okay. Focus group is when you take a bunch of people and you do this Q&A, a bit of an interview session with them. You guys use the library? Do you guys use the library? What is that? Yes or no? Okay. Some shaking the head. Okay, so when you guys use the library, how do you use the library? So he was like, what do you mean library is a library, right? The librarian has been complaining to us, sharing with us their the difficulties they have, where a lot of people use the library as a discussion area. Even at those 0 dB or the silence area, there's a lot of discussion, right? Because people actually study in the library, they need it quiet. So then the question is, what should they do? How can they have a library that is quiet enough for those guys who want to study there? Because a lot of people are having discussion there. So a focus group could be, you take a few of this library user and say, okay, can you share with us how you are using the library? In actual fact, we did this. We saw a bunch of guys coming together and said, can we borrow you for 5 minutes? And they say yes. So okay, we took them. We asked them how they use the library. And you know what they say? A lot of them say this. A lot of students that we interviewed say this. We use it for a discussion. They said, isn't that odd? Library is where you're supposed to study or get your books or things like that. Why do you use it as a discussion area? They'll say, this is the only quiet place we can find in campus. Is it true? Okay, I know. Engineering students don't study. No? I don't know. Because those people that we took and have a discussion with them, had a focus group discussion with them, they all tell us this is the only quiet place they can find to have a discussion. And those rooms are usually booked, so they have got no choice, but they spill over into the quiet area and they have their discussion there. And when they do that, those guys having their study, they find it annoying that someone is having a discussion. Agree? So the focus group is where you take a bunch of people together and then you ask them questions to learn from the discussion. Let me give you another example. When you guys graduate, shortly after you guys graduate, after you finish your studies, the government would put out a survey for you guys to fill. It's 200 over question. 200 over. So a lot of students says, I'm not feeling that. That's just way too much. I got no time for it. There's no rewards. Just like you say, right? What's the reward for you? There's no rewards. Just 200 odd question that you have to answer. So if students don't answer that, one of the questions that says, are you employed? Would then says, they don't know. They don't have data for us. Then because we don't have the data, we cannot do anything with it. Now, then what tellers do is that they force everyone to do this. You know that when during the graduation, they go up to the podium, they collect their scroll, that round thing is actually empty inside. Okay? The only way you're going to get your scroll, your diploma, is that the receipt that you have done your survey, you take that in exchange for your real diploma, your real scroll. So they force you. So then what happened is that on the day of graduation, there's a lot of computers. Just go and get your things done. Get your receipt, and your receipt exchange for your real diploma to put inside that empty box. Make sense? So people found out that if you say, I'm employed, they'll ask questions like, what is your salary, where you're working, what industry, and blah, 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 blah. But if you say, I'm unemployed, no more question. So what people do? I'm not employed. So then the data then shows that teller students are not employable. Okay? So when we hold a focus group with potential graduate, we said, would you fill this form? No way. So we said, this thing is going to happen. Yeah, we know. But when we say, do you know that it has got an impact on the rating of the university and on implication of the value of your cert? Then they say, okay, we will do it. So the focus group allow us to understand why they are not doing it. Yeah, and what can we do to make them do it? So that 200 question, if we were to split it into 4 sessions of 50 questions each, right? Some of them could be answered. Some of them has to be answered after you graduate. Some of them can be answered whilst you're in your final year. So the suggestion was to split this into 4 sessions, where some of these are answered whilst you are in your final year. The idea comes from the discussion with them, from the focus group. Are we clear? Okay. Say, if for instance you're designing a car to compete with Volvo, Mercedes, and what have you, you get owner of this kind of vehicles, and you say, hey, tell me what you like about your car. They'll tell you. In exchange for, I don't know, some cupcakes and coffee and tea. They'll tell you. When they tell you, those are the information that you have. Those information becomes extremely useful. Do you understand? Okay, so that's what focus group is. If you're working on a project that has got process, you do this, followed by that, followed by something else, right? The first thing you would like to do is you do flow analysis. You go through and say how the material is flowing, how the information is flowing. As you go through this flow analysis, what you would realize is that you start to have a clarity in the picture of the whole system. And from there, the idea comes where the solution could be. No solution yet, but where it could be. Are we okay? The only way I can show you this is to give you a real example, and I don't have a real example that I can show you right now. Okay, I'm literally done. Question. See, the understand stage, let me recap. is for you to ask all the questions that you need to have a better understanding of the project at hand. Again, why? Because you want to have enough information for a one shot, one kill. You want to have a one solution that fix it ultimately. You can use techniques like Ishikawa, 5 Whys, focus group, flow analysis, and things like that. Okay, question? No question? Okay, the box. You know that there is a common saying that says, think outside the box. Agree? You heard that before? Someone told you before? Your supervisor may say, your parents, someone will say, or your friends will say, go think outside the box. What does it mean?
Don't limit yourself.
Huh?
Don't limit yourself.
Do not limit yourself. Okay. If you understand it as don't limit yourself, that's fine. There is a lot of people says, think outside the box. I say, actually I didn't say it. My friend said, I thought it was brilliant. He said there's no such thing as thinking outside the box. There's nothing outside the box. Think inside a bigger box. Why? All the information and data you have is inside the box. There's nothing outside the box. You can only think inside a bigger box. Hence the part where you guys are talking about collecting all the data and information, right? The knowledge and things like that. It's all inside the box. The more information that you have inside this box, you have a bigger box. The bigger the box you have, the more likely for you to come up with a creative idea or solution. Are we okay? Now, since there's no question, I'm actually done. I prefer question than the applause. Really no question? Mud clear? Mud clear? Okay, so if you've got no question, a few suggestions. Number one, if you guys have not yet registered with Open Learning, please go ahead and you go to openlearning.com, look for Engineering Design and Innovation. I did not change the name of the course, and register yourself. Is it okay? Now, I have on Monday, next week Monday, I'll teach you a technique called observation. After that class, you would have the technique to start looking for your project. Okay? Your SOW and the handbook for the module is already uploaded in Times. Yeah? I really need you to study the handbook. Everything is in there. Are we okay? Good. If you guys got no question, we'll end today, and I'll see you guys on Monday. For those of you who are shy, I'll be down here until I packed up. See you guys next week.